to California, seeing the sights and people there.
Okay, so here we are at Roaring Camp, and big trees, I might mention, and narrow gauge railroad. Also, you can take it to Santa Cruz if you'd like to on the big gauge. And I don't know of a skunk sat on a stump, but that baby has had some serious chewing on it, hasn't it? So, is that a redwood, honey, or is that something else? What would you say?
I think it's a redwood.
I don't know, it looks to me like, I don't see any of the bark on it. Maybe, I don't know. And look at this, we have a covered bridge.
The shortest covered bridge in the United States, length 36 feet, low capacity 5 tons.
I like that. That is so funny. It is the shortest covered bridge, 36 feet. In other words, it's just for show.
Huh.
Well, look at there, we have some water right here. Look at all the little lilies.
There's turtles.
Hi, Lily.
Did you see the turtles?
I did not.
See, zoom up on those pulleys,
Oh, yeah.
and there's turtles.
So there's a stump right there. And if we pan across a little bit, there's two turtles in the reeds. Pretty cool.
That's where I wish I had my zoom lens.
Two little love bugs there.
Yeah. I think there was 3 earlier.
Three's a crowd sometimes. Oh, you know what Kaliki saw? Look at him. Kaliki, you see squirrel.
No, he sees a key.
No, there's squirrel up there. I just saw it. He just went after it. You watch him when he gets up there. He is a man with a plant. Now he sees that also. Oh, there's a squirrel, Kaliki. Oh, there's a squirrel. Oh, he got away. It's a ground squirrel. Welcome, and who's welcoming us?
Smokey
Oh
the
boy.
Bear.
Is that Smokey the Bear?
Yes, and
He-
you must remember one thing.
I don't think he's smoking. What do you mean, Smokey the Bear?
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Honey, that is so well said, but we have dated ourselves.
Make sure you drown out campfires. Remember, only you can prevent forest fires.
I remember when I was 5 years old and I didn't go to kindergarten yet, and they came by and they knocked on the door and they were selling insurance, and I was sick. And he had a teddy bear and it was just for show. You had to buy the oh no, he wasn't selling insurance, he was selling encyclopedias. Because you had to buy the encyclopedias to get the bear. But because I was sick, he gave it to me anyway. So I had my Smokey the Bear and I loved him.
Ever since then, she's always loved insurance and encyclopedia salesmen. So if you are one, see Grace Nisler. So what's this? I think normally something's covering this. Oh, I guess this must be where the fire goes in. So this is part of the Wagon Big Top common type steam boiler used in 1880s. And here we are at Roaring Camp, Raymond W. Smith, master printer, 1915. Let's see the tools of his trade. So this is a little bit different machine than we saw over in the blacksmith shop, sure enough. Put your print down here, put your paper there, and let the machine kind of whack it. And you've got your paints over here. Got to be very organized in where you put your lettering and your numbers. Looks kind of like a linotype here, doesn't it? And you have different shims there, honey. You see that for, I guess, different font spacings and things of that nature.
I didn't know they had fire.
You don't hit a space bar there. You get out something. Oh, yes. And then over here, oh wait, there's more. Look at that machine. I would begin to say, yep, it sure enough is yield linotype. Linotape, aluminite magazine goes in there. Okay, fine. It's got a lot of dials and levers. Yeah, you wouldn't want to be wearing a tie when you're working around all this gear moving around. 100 years old. It take to be a marshal here in these parts.
I've been advised that you must ride like a Mexican,
Ride like a Mexican, yes.
trail like an Indian,
Trail like an Indian, yeah.
shoot like a Tennessean,
A Tennessee man.
fight like the devil.
And fight like the what?
Devil.
The devil.
And furnish your own mount, arms, and equipment to the lips.
But wait, there's more. And here we go.
Yeah, this shows from the print.
Bobby Dalton, man, he had 15K on his head. Doc Holliday is practicing dentistry without a license in the town of Tombstone. Naughty, naughty.
So, sorry about eating and talking and walking at the same time, but I went to go get tickets for this roaring camp, Redwood. And of course, I went the wrong way, so I wasted 5 minutes there.
But didn't we
10.
think we were supposed to leave after 1? Did they change the time?
I don't know, she said it was never 1, it was 12:30, so I got here and realized I had 15 minutes to get back, eat lunch, and get back here again. So, eating, walking, and talking at the same time.
foggy day, it can be like the equivalent of 4 inches of rain from just the drip. As I said, there's 3 kinds of redwood. This is the coastal redwood. Their cousin, the other redwood in the United States, is the giant redwoods of the Sierra, Sequoia gigantea. If you've ever been up to Yosemite, Kings Canyon, seen those, the trees that you've seen pictures of cars, of tunnels, they don't do that anymore, but not too good for the trees, you can well imagine. Massively thick trees, the world's largest living things. Much thicker than these trees. These held the record of being the world's tallest type of tree.
Right now the record holder is called the Hyperion Giant. It's 379.3 feet or 115.5 meters. Not in here. It would be about 300 miles to the north of us in Redwood State Park, but you never find it. It's always a big secret. They never disclose. They found that by saying that's the world's tallest tree, there are those that would say, I have some bark from the world's tallest tree, not doing the tree any favor. It's always the same though. It's always deep in the valley, lots of moisture. You'd think the world's tallest tree might have the world's deepest roots, but that's not the case. Coast redwoods actually have very shallow roots, 9 to 12 feet, but every one of these trees is putting out roots 50 to 75 feet in all directions. A lot of the roots have grown together. Sequoia sempervirens. Sempervirens means ever living. This is the only kind of redwood that when you cut it down, you get more redwoods. Now they have a little cone. This is a really bad example. I couldn't find one. They have little seeds. Right now the cones are very green and they have a lot of tannin. If you put those in water, you get this red dye that people will use. But this is an old one. The seeds are about the size of a tomato seed 15% of the time, but 85% of the time, coast redwoods reproduce from their roots. Lumberman's dream. You come and clear cut a forest, you come back in 100 years, you got a whole nother forest. In fact, a good example of that is not here. This is old growth. But when we get back on the train, right about over here, you'll get to spy at another mountain range, the Ben Lomond mountain range. It's covered with trees. Realize that 100 years ago, there wasn't a tree standing. They cut them all down, and they come all back on their own. People love to build with redwood. This is the only tree, redwood, that people build with. Redwood has a wonderful qualities. It's a softwood. Any tree with a central stalk, like a Christmas tree's a softwood, has very tight grain, takes paint well, has that lovely reddish cast, doesn't have much pitch in the wood. But the big thing redwood has going for it, and it's the thing that makes it red, is all the tannin. Not only does it make it a reddish, lovely cast, makes it very unattractive to termites. Termites hate redwood. So if you build with redwood, and I've attested this in my own old cabin, where the Douglas fir, they get to the redwood, they stop. It's like, I wish my whole house was redwood. In fact, the old days, they used to just build on redwood. You put redwood on the ground, redwood sills, and that was your foundation. I'm sure there are still cabins for sale up in these mountains that are put on redwood sills. First thing you're going to do is put some cement underneath there, but pretty amazing ability. This is your state tree, by the way, if you're a Californian. When it came time to get a state tree, nobody could decide whether it would be the giant redwoods. One group said it has to be the world's largest living thing. It's the Sequoia gigantea. They live up to 3,200 years. A whole nother group said, no, it has to be the coastal tree. This is a coastal state. These can live up to 2,000 years, 2,200. Well, politicians, never wanting to lose any constituents, said, listen, we're going to call it Sequoia. So whether it's gigantea dendron or whether it's sempervirens, you get to make up your own choice. So I think California technically has the only state that has 2 state trees. So just one word, these trees have been on this planet for 1 million centuries. Think about that, 100 million year old type of plant. They came about after the dinosaurs, but there were redwoods just like these before there were birds. There were redwoods just like these before there were flowers. A very old type of plant.
So the switchman, I guess, is making the switch, but I think he's called the brakeman, technically. Gives the signal. Okay.
Also, and the steam can help it.
Right.
So it heats the water this way. This is the standing dome. All the sand is over in there so that if they start to slip,
Yes.
they can hit it. And that's the steam
So
dome.
Grace Nistler, did you get your money's worth today?
Well, at first I wasn't too happy about the sound, but after the conductor came and gave us a personal tour, then that made up for the lack of sound, because he's a really nice guy.
Loudspeaker in our system.
Uh-huh.
Kaliki, did you get your money's worth today?
We must have got our money worth though, because we are the last one.
Look at that, there is nobody else in the parking lot. Okay, it is that time for Puppy Dog to get a little cleaning. It's like, what did I do to deserve this punishment? It's not a punishment, boy. We're just keeping you good looking for the girls. Okay, undercarriage, check. Okay, flip side.
Turn her over, Kiki.
Flip side. Okay, come over here. Good. Stay. Right there. Oh yeah, that's good. How about you, honey? You want me to do you next, so to speak? Have you had your shower on this trip yet?
I have not.
Okay, well, we'll lather you up. Uh-oh, water's heading my way.
How about you? Have you had your shower?
You're not allowed to ask that question.
A shower a day.
Keeps the doctor away.
Odors away. Have you had your shower today?
Well, so Grace, I guess all good things must come to an end. What do you think?
I think I really like Henry Cowell State Park.
Henry Cowell did good. And what do you think, Kaliki?
I think
this has been a life for the dogs and for the dogs' masters, I believe. We had a great time, didn't we?
We loved it. So if you loved our journey and you enjoyed it, please make sure to leave some comments below down
Subscribe
here.
is okay too.
Yeah, go ahead and subscribe and tell us what you think. Tell us where we can improve. We really appreciate you watching.
Okay, until then, happy trails to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Have you been to California? Seen the sights and people there? Walked the streets of sleepy sea towns, tasted salty ocean air.